Welcome to Crystal Clear English Podcast. Learn English, the crystal clear way.
Great to be here.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into something that honestly sounds incredibly simple, but it seems to pack a real punch when it comes to boosting English fluency. We've been looking into how, the ordinary stuff you do every day.
Yeah, just your daily routine.
How that can actually be turned into a really effective learning tool.
Exactly. It flips the script a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We often think language learning is, separate.
Right, like homework. An hour with the books or the app.
Yeah, but what if your actual life, everything from getting up to hitting the pillow, what if that could be your practice ground?
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's get right to it then. What's this powerful idea?
Well, the core concept is basically describing your own day in English.
Describing my day.
Yeah, taking the things you actually do, what you see, maybe even thoughts you have, and just processing them in English.
Okay, wait, like literally saying, I woke up, I brushed my teeth. That sounds, I don't know, almost too simple. How can that be a game changer?
But that's sort of the magic of it, isn't it? You're living your day anyway. These things are happening.
True.
Your brain's already processing them, probably your first language, right? Without you even thinking about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
So the shift is just to consciously bring English into that reflection. Whether you say it out loud or just think it. It takes those everyday kind of automatic actions and makes them into real active English practice moments. You stop just living the day and start using the day.
Okay, so it's different from learning textbook dialogues about situations you're not actually in.
Totally different.
Instead, you're using language that's directly tied to your reality. Because you did just brush your teeth, you did go to the store, maybe.
Exactly. Or you did cook dinner last night and watch that movie. It's not abstract.
It's real.
It's real. It's grounded in your immediate experience. And that connection, that link between the English words and something you actually did or felt, that's super powerful for making the language stick.
Right, because there's a memory attached. A feeling, maybe.
Precisely. When you say, I cooked dinner, you probably have a sense memory that the chopping, the smells, whatever, linking the English to that makes it much more memorable than just a word on a list.
Okay. I'm starting to see the power in its simplicity now. It's moving from just observing your life to actively narrating it in English.
You got it.
But let's break down how it helps. What are the specific benefits we found when people commit to doing this?
Well, there are quite a few, actually. The first big one, and maybe the most obvious, is vocabulary growth. But crucially, it's vocabulary that's, directly relevant to you.
Ah, right. Because my day isn't the same as your day or the textbook example day.
Exactly.
If I work in an office, my day might involve, attending a stand-up meeting, replying to emails, working on a report. Someone else's day is totally different.
For sure. Maybe it's changing diapers, making school lunches, going to the gym. So when you try to describe your day, you immediately bump into the words you actually need but don't know yet.
I try to describe my work meeting and realize I don't know the English word for agenda or follow-up actions.
Perfect example. Or you try to talk about making dinner and you're missing chop, stir, simmer.
Or even just how you felt drained or energized or accomplished.
Exactly. Each time you hit one of those gaps, that's your brain flagging a real need. Hey, I need this word.
So looking it up then makes more sense.
Way more sense, because you look it up in the context of something you just lived through. On-demand vocabulary learning tailored specifically to your life.
That's a really cool way to think about it. You're not just memorizing lists. You're acquiring the language you needed, 5 minutes ago. Okay, what else? Beyond vocab.
Well, beyond just words, it's a fantastic daily workout for your speaking and potentially your writing skills too.
How?
Because whether you decide to actually say your descriptions out loud, which by the way is a great idea.
Okay.
Or if you write them down maybe in a journal, you are actively, deliberately building sentences in English every day.
Right. You're pulling words out, putting them in order.
Making them into coherent thoughts. This active production part is absolutely key. It moves language from just passive understanding, recognizing words, to active use, using them yourself.
So it's like building muscle memory for English.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. It's consistent, low-pressure practice. You're getting those reps in daily.
Makes sense.
And it's not just about stringing words together randomly. This practice also naturally helps with grammar and sentence flow, often without you even focusing hard on the rules.
Really? How does just talking about breakfast help my grammar?
Well, think about it. When you describe something you finished, what tense do you use?
Past tense. I woke up. I ate breakfast.
Right. And if you're describing something happening right now,
Present continuous, I guess. I am sitting here. I am talking to you.
yep. And plans for later.
Future. I will go for a walk. I am going to call my friend.
See? Just by recounting your day, you are naturally, constantly using fundamental grammar. Past, present, future, different structures.
Huh. I never really thought about it like that.
You're using grammar to actually communicate something real about your life. That makes it stick way better than just, filling in blanks in a grammar exercise. It becomes intuitive.
It becomes part of how you naturally express yourself.
Okay.
Wow.
And this leads to another really important benefit. Self-correction.
Noticing your own mistakes.
Exactly. When you regularly describe your day, you start to hear yourself or see your own writing. You create this, feedback loop.
So if I keep saying something like, I drink coffee every morning.
Precisely. If you say or write, I drink coffee day after day, eventually it might sound off. Or you might just pause and think, wait, is that right?
And then maybe I'll look it up.
And you find drank. And because you caught it yourself, in the context of your own routine, that correction is much more likely to stick. You become your own proofreader, basically.
That's powerful. You're constantly refining based on your own output.
Mm-hmm. It uses your day not just as practice material, but also as a sort of diagnostic tool. It shows you where you need to improve. It's incredibly integrated.
Okay, this all sounds really promising. But practically speaking, how does someone actually start doing this? Especially if they feel a bit, shy or overwhelmed.
Yeah, good question. The absolute key, I think, is to start ridiculously small.
Small? Like how small?
Like just describe 3 things you did today. Seriously.
That's it.
3 things. Like I woke up, I had coffee, I checked email.
Exactly that simple. Don't aim for a full narrative, just 3 little actions.
Okay, that feels, totally manageable, not scary at all.
Right. You want to lower that barrier to entry so it feels easy to be consistent. Once 3 feels like nothing, maybe try 5. Then maybe a short paragraph. But start tiny.
Start tiny. Got it. What else? Don't be afraid to actually speak out loud to yourself.
The talking to yourself part.
Yeah. It feels weird at first, for sure. Find a private space in your room, in the car, maybe while you're walking alone. Just say the sentences.
Why is saying them out loud helpful?
It helps with pronunciation, rhythm, just getting your mouth used to forming the English sounds and sentences.
Yeah.
It bridges the gap between thinking and speaking.
Okay, embrace the weirdness. Speak aloud. Any other tips?
Well, if speaking aloud feels too awkward or isn't practical, writing is also fantastic.
Like a journal?
Yep, a simple daily journal. And again, start small. Bullet points are fine. Woke up 7, coffee, read news, work.
So it doesn't have to be perfect sentences right away.
Not at all. Build up to it. Writing forces you to think about spelling and structure maybe a bit more deliberately than speaking does.
Gives you a second to think.
Exactly. And one more, maybe for slightly braver, try recording yourself.
Ooh, okay. Using my phone.
Yeah, just use the voice recorder app. Record yourself describing your day, then listen back.
That sounds slightly terrifying.
It can be.
Right.
But honestly, it's incredibly helpful. You'll hear exactly where you hesitate, which sounds are tricky for you, maybe grammar mistakes you keep making.
Like instant feedback?
Exactly. Objective feedback. It really highlights areas to work on.
Wow, okay. Those are really concrete tips. Start small, speak or write, maybe record. Sounds very flexible.
Totally. Find what works for you. The main thing is just doing something consistently.
Before we move on, just a quick note for everyone listening. If you're finding these tips helpful and want more ways to boost your English fluency, make sure you're following or subscribe to this channel. We share practical advice like this all the time.
Yeah, definitely hit that follow button.
So to make this even clearer, could you maybe give us a few more examples?
Yeah.
Just paint a picture of what describing a day might actually sound like sentence by sentence.
Sure. Let's think about a regular sort of day. You could start with the morning, right?
Okay.
Maybe I woke up a bit late today, around 8.
Simple enough.
Then I scroll through my phone for maybe 10 minutes in bed, adding a little detail.
Right. Scrolled through my phone for 10 minutes.
Then I got up and made some coffee, or I went for a quick run before showering.
Using different verbs, different activities.
Exactly. Then maybe midday stuff.
Yeah.
I had a couple of online meetings this morning.
Okay.
Lunch was just leftovers from yesterday. Or I met a friend for lunch downtown.
See, it brings in locations, other people.
Yeah, it naturally expands. In the afternoon, I tried to focus on finishing that report, but I felt pretty tired.
Ah, including feelings, too. Good one.
Or observations. The weather turned rainy this afternoon.
Right.
Evening could be. I cooked chicken and vegetables for dinner. After dinner, I watched a documentary on Netflix.
Nice.
Then I read for about half an hour. Before going to sleep, I quickly planned my main tasks for tomorrow.
These examples really show the range, don't they? It goes from simple actions to more complex thoughts, feelings, plans.
And it naturally uses all sorts of language, different tenses, prepositions, adjectives, adverbs, all because you're just describing what actually happened.
It really does turn your life into the source material.
It's your personal, unique curriculum. Every day is a new lesson, tailored just for you. It makes the language real, functional.
This has been really enlightening. It takes this big, sometimes scary goal of fluency and breaks it down into something super achievable.
Yeah, something you can literally start doing today.
It's not about finding extra hours for studying necessarily, but about weaving practice into the hours you already have.
Exactly. Your day isn't getting in the way of your learning. Your day is the learning. Describing it transforms your life into, well, the most relevant classroom possible.
So the big takeaway here seems to be that fluency isn't just built in dedicated study time. It's built moment by moment through consistent small habits that connect English to your actual life.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Turn your life into your lesson plan.
So, a final thought for everyone listening. Think about your day so far, right now. The coffee you had, the person you talked to, the thing you read online, how you're feeling. What's one part of your day, just one moment, that you could try putting into English right now, even just in your head? Give it a try.
Great challenge.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep discovering practical ways to improve your English, please do subscribe or follow the Crystal Clear English podcast wherever you're listening. We'd love to have you with us for future discussions.
Your support helps us keep creating this content.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Crystal Clear English podcast.
And remember that quote, learning another language is like becoming another person.